Hello, welcome to Art Talk. My name is Sonia Bodnar, and today my two guests are Ukrainian Canadian writers, James Gerus and Victor Malarek. And they are going to talk a little bit about their books. Victor is going to talk about his book Putin's Assassin, and James is going to talk about his book Muskoka Murders. So, can you first quickly introduce yourself?
Well, I'm Victor Malarek. I've been a journalist for over 50 years, retired, have written six nonfiction books, and in my retirement have written three fiction books, which are a lot of fun for a guy like me who's seen a lot, done a lot. And I really like the genre of mysteries. And that's great that you've got two mystery writers going here, myself and James Gerus. So and I give the floor over to you, James.
Thank you. My name is James Robin Garris. I'm foremost an actor. I've been in Hallmark movies, done voiceovers for video games, commercials, and whatnot. My dream is to play Victor Malarek in a biopic one day, but I've recently turned to writing. I've written a few scripts that won awards, but I wrote my first novel recently, The Muskoka Murders, and I'm pivoting into the writing world now and having a great time with it.
So, as Victor mentioned, both of you write in the genres of mystery, suspense, thriller. So, what motivated you to write in that genre? Why you chose that genre?
Mm.
Well, in my case, when I spent my life as a journalist being an investigative reporter. So there's a lot of mysteries, a lot of investigation, a lot of digging, a lot of accountability, going after the bad guys. So I just take that and bring it into this genre of mystery writing. So it was not a very difficult thing. The thing that I liked most about it, though, is to develop a story from the kinds of things that have happened to me or events that have happened to me over the years as a journalist. So I've met characters, I've seen events, and I thought, hey, I can mix all kinds of stuff and have a really interesting and a compelling time to tell a story. So that's what I bring to my writing is all of these years of experience in investigating issues and going after bad guys. And there's a lot of bad guys in my books.
That's a great answer. For me, basically what it was I've written short stories and short screenplays in the past, but it was really when COVID happened, I had nothing to do, and I have an imagination that never shuts up. So I thought I'd always wanted to see if I can take a crack at like 100,000 word novel. I thought first maybe doing something big and fantasy epic with like worlds and dragons and different characters, but then I thought, well, I love mysteries. I love Agatha Christie and the Sherlock Holmes and what have you, David Baldacci, and that has more of like a good three-act structure with symbolism and tropes and themes that you can easily latch on to. So I can bring my crazy imagination to some structure, and I think it was a good first crack at writing an epic for me. So that's what got me into mystery. But I also made sure to add like some humor because I do a lot of comedy, stand-up, what have you. So I made sure to sprinkle that in so it's not dark all the time, you know?
So you got two different kind of guys coming to this event and bringing two different kind of viewpoints on how to go after a story, why we go after a story, and what we develop as a result of a good mystery to read. And I think people who come to this event are going to have a really good time talking to both of us and us sharing our
Yeah.
experiences and the insanity of writing, the power of writing, and seeing your words in a book.
That's
Oh,
true. I've been reading Wheat Shaft, and they're both entertaining stories, my book and Victor's, but I think they come at it from two different perspectives, which makes it entertaining but different and fun at the same time.
yeah.
Um, can you actually elaborate on that? Like, what do you think makes your books stand out among other in the thriller genre?
Well, it's how you pick the kind of story you want to do, but it's also picking the characters. Like for me, I love the characters in my book. I mean, Matt Kozar to me, and it's the second Matt Kozar book, and there's going to be a third. But he's really interesting. He has a girlfriend who is his anchor and really deals with him in a very firm way. But all of the characters have come to life. The bad guys, the good guys, the in-between guys, and him weaving through the story. So this is important for me as a writer to get people hooked into the story through the characters.
For me, it's, as I said, the humor, but also it's very, very local. It's called the Muskoka Murders for a reason. It takes place throughout all of Ontario, of course, Toronto, but we're talking like Oakville, Thunder Bay, all the way up in Gravenhurst in the Muskoka region. So I've done a few bookstore signings, and just when I tell them about it, and then they're like, people will say, "Oh, my town's in there. I didn't know that." So I think it's especially we'll be doing this in Toronto. It keeps it local and community centered.
And
And
it's interesting that uh, I in this book now really get into Ukrainian issues, the Ukrainian war, but also Matt really develops uh, as a Ukrainian American, whereas in the first book, Witchcraft, he is kind of there, but he's not kind of there. But the war is what changes him. So, I play on that, and I want Ukrainian readers, Ukrainian Canadian readers, American readers, and just basic readers to know that this is going on over there, and how it affects him, and how it affects people his age, people in their 30s and 20s and whatever. So, and so you have one guy who's picking his character in the United States, goes to Ukraine, all the Ukrainian stuff, but you have another character, which would be in James' book,
Mhm.
and it's all really local, and everyone knows in Ontario the Muskokas.
Yeah, it's funny. I've read the first one of his soon-to-be trilogy, but I identify with Matt a lot because he says in one part, "I've only learned a few words of Ukrainian," which I know a few phrases and words, but like I've never felt like I've always wanted to go deeper with learning about my heritage. So it's like I'm reading a mystery, but identifying with the guy really well.
Yeah, and I think it's really important that that your main character you kind of, well, I more than kind of identify with him. Matt Kozar is me when I'm younger, crazy, insane, in your face. As an older guy, same thing.
And we are going to have an event with both of you at KONTAKT Gallery on December 15th at 2 p.m. So it's going to be kind of like Q&A session. I'm going to be asking you questions. The viewers will have a chance. The visitors will also ask you some questions. Can you let us know more what we can expect? And also, will you bring your books? Will people be able to purchase them and get them signed?
Mm.
Yeah, I listen. I think people will be entertained. Between myself and James, we know how to entertain, and it'll be informative about writing, the skill of writing, how you develop your plot lines, and that kind of thing, and why I went after specific ways of developing the storylines. So I think a lot of people, when they meet a writer or whatever, they're wondering, how did you get to there, and why did you do this, and why did you do that? How did you develop that character? So they'll learn that and have a good time.
Yes, and I will definitely be bringing a couple copies of the Muskoka Murders
Just
softcover and
two.
hmm And I'll definitely be able to sign some. I've been working on my autograph signature very diligently. I've been getting carpal tunnel writing it out over and over again. But
And yeah, and as you know, like I always do proceeds from my book to
mhm.
Ukrainian Canadian Foundation, the Canada Ukraine Foundation, and other Ukrainian charities. So uh, I'm going to be helping out
I
with.
believe there was one charity about like they build drones or whatnot. We were
Oh
talking.
yeah, well yeah, they're going to be doing a big event as well on I think it's this Saturday, yeah, and they're a great bunch of guys, you know. So it'll be an informative event when that we're doing, and it'll be a fun event, and people will learn. I hope learn a lot about the mystery genre, which is my favorite genre of reading, by the way.
Mhm.
And I definitely hope that our little conversation got our viewers interested. I hope they will come to the event. So again, it will be December 15th, 2 p.m. at KONTAKT Gallery. So we're waiting to see all of you. And as you heard, there will be opportunity to purchase books and get them signed by the authors. So we'll be very happy to see all of you. And thank you so much for
Yeah, thank
joining
you.
me today and talking to me. Yeah, we'll be waiting for everybody at the event. And thank you so much for watching.
Thank you, Sonia.
Дякую.